Hello to all of you, amazing humans. Today I have an important message to share with you about how we can make the change we want to see happen for real. So are you ready for this? At the moment, we can see a huge movement growing all over the planet. People doing weekly protests about climate change and climate action now. And the power this movement holds is enormous. It's enormous. It's enormous. Imagine with me for a minute. What if we choose to use this weekly day to act for the common good? What about we use that day and our energy to get involved in an organization that does make sense to us? What if, for example, we use one day out of a week to participate in a local community garden or volunteer with an organic market gardener to learn to grow food? Think about it. Indigenous tribes and communities all over the world that know how to grow their own food or gather it from the wild, that are self-managed and that live in symbiosis with their environment, don't need to wait for any political power to dictate them how to live their lives. It's not the borders that keep them together. It's core values and principles that motivates them to coexist together, learn to live together. Okay? Does that also make sense to you? Let me share my little story with you. So I grew up in Brussels, Belgium, in a city where I didn't know anything about gardening. I spent my teenage years and student years getting really upset about the state of the world, feeling really powerless on my own and rarely making any sense of how what I was learning at school would help me do anything about it. So one day I heard Mahatma Gandhi say, "Be the change you want to see in the world." That hit my head. So I had to think about it. What is it that I actually want to see change? Food and our relation to food is a big one. I wish all of humanity have access easily to healthy food and that we live again in symbiosis with our environment. Okay, so back to my story. Food. First step, start with the basics. I got out of my comfort zone and starting using my free time to volunteer with organic market gardeners to learn about food production. And let me tell you this, learning how to make compost, learning to grow vegetables, learning to grow trees, learning to care for animals, and shit in compost toilets instead of polluting or clean water has literally changed my whole life. It has also super boosted my confidence in my power to guide my own destiny. In fact, in the power we have to co-create our own destiny. And that, my friends, was only the start of a whole journey. Today, I'm in the Amazonian rainforest. I'm working in a tree nursery that aims to reforest and refertilize lands that have been used by the mining industry. And my goal is to join a global reforestation movement that encourages citizens to plant food forests around them and participate to global abundance. Did you know planting stuff also does make you a happier person? Don't believe me? Go and try it for your own. Go get busy in the garden, go for a play in the forest and notice how you feel. See, when you start getting your hands dirty, it makes you much happier. Not only because you are doing something useful, or thanks to the mycobacterium that is acting on your brain, stimulating it to create serotonin, also known as the happiness neurotransmitter. But it also does make you happier because you're initiating a whole process of getting back in touch with life, with your environment. Then you start meeting heaps of inspiring people that are already involved in that change, that were just waiting for you to join them and make important choices that are gonna impact your life and the rest of the world. But I must warn you, when you take that step, there's no going back. It's gonna be really difficult to go back to your unconscious ways of living. And life is gonna give you a bunch of people and opportunities to keep evolving forward. So are you ready for this? Today, it's springtime. Now it's time for action. Under the concrete lives the earth. And we, my friends, are the seeds of change. So dig in! Just dig it in! Just dig it in! Dig in, dig in. I love you. Let's dig in!